And just like that, ladies and gentlemen, happy holidays. Merry Christmas to each and every single one of you. I hope you guys are having a fabulous time with loved ones. Today is a special day. Enjoy it, appreciate it, value it. Stop and smell the roses. You know what I'm saying? Don't let this day just pass you by. Make sure to make it a great day. With that
being said, ladies and gentlemen, I just go ahead and thought I'd drop a banger. As you can see, I can change my voice. I can disguise my voice. I know many of you out there have been through the thick and thin, have been knee-deep in the mud, have seen the betrayals, have seen the backstabbing right before your eyes. Perhaps you yourself have been used, and you'd like to go ahead and share your story, share your experience. Perhaps you'd like to do it anonymously. I could change your voice. Please contact me at prisonstorytony@gmail.com. And, I'd love to share your story, your experience. With that being said, we're going to go ahead and dive right into this thing. Thank you so much for taking the time on this Christmas day. Happy holidays, ladies and gentlemen. I love each and every single one of you.
Muy buenas noches to everyone. Well, first and foremost, like always, I hope everybody's doing well, blessed, alongside a family, and, extending my best wishes for everyone this Christmas and this coming year. And as always, allow me to thank everybody for you guys' prayers and kind words. I apologize again for not being in the comments replying, but it's just been a little difficult lately. But, regardless, I had the blessings to have family come visit from Cali, and I'm going to put my story in a pause, and I want to share with you guys just I want a family member to come up on here and basically tell you, there was a time where, she found herself in need, and I kind of thought I was helping, and it turned out, basically what always turns out, you do what you think is right or try to maintain in that, and thinking they're going to respond right, but then they try to dig that distance and to do their dirty things, just that the gato things that we always talk about. But anyways, I'm not going to put names on here. I'm not going to put no marks. This is just a family member of mine. And because if anything comes negative from this, I want her to ricochet just one way, which is my way. But with this said, I'm going to go ahead and just allow my family to come on here and tell her side on how it happened,
So I want to say like probably 2 years ago, I was in need, type economic situation. I had just arrived in Cali. I told my uncle about it. He contacted a friend and told me that I can do something for money. I learned a little bit about it. I was terrified and scared because I've never done anything like that. But, in the end, we end up doing things we've never done for money, right? So I spoke to the person that was supposed to have this job for me. We came to an agreement, like I said, very terrified. I ended up going from Santa Rosa all the way down to LA. Knowing a little bit of details, never moving around anything that is criminal related or in any way. I took my own car, went down there, arrived somewhere. It was my choosing, and then I just had to inform several people and call them. You could touch on details on that because, like, the places you went, like the details they put you through and do. So it was raining. It was probably like a Wednesday. They said you have to leave right away. So I didn't even think about it. I hadn't done laundry or anything. I was in school. I didn't care about anything, just, surviving and having money for the next few days or so. And so I took my car all the way to Anaheim, not knowing it was a dangerous place and that there was a lot of criminals and that the prison was really close. So I went to this little hotel. I was waiting for one of the contacts. It was a female. and she wasn't arriving. Before that, I got another call, and they said, you gotta go outside, they're gonna give you something. So I met with a guy, and he handed me a jacket that had money in it. And of course, in all this, you're terrified because you're thinking, how much is it? How much am I going to get? Can I trust him? This has to be quick, Who's looking at me? So you get really paranoid when you haven't done this line of work or know anything about it. So I took the jacket, went back into the room, counted it, and I took my partner in this. He was an illegal immigrant at the time, and he was helping me. He was more terrified than I was. So we ended up counting the money, everything was okay. Then the other gal met with me a little later than that. But these guys, the first ones, the ones from the jacket, kept contacting me that when were they going to get their stuff. So I kept contacting back, that person that had given me the job. He said, don't worry about it, don't answer them. So I kept calling my uncle again. I said, this guy is doing them dirty because he promised him something and obviously it's not happening and I'm being put in the line. Well, anyways, I let things slide, continued the flow and the rhythm. I met with the girl. When I went outside, I noticed 2 police cars. And it seemed like they were looking for someone. So when she got down, I hugged her and I told her, don't get anything out because there's 2 police cars and they've been roaming around. So she got a little paranoid too. We took her dogs from her car into my hotel room and we stood there a little bit. She started getting a little paranoid. I started getting a little paranoid. I called my uncle, of course, because he's the one that got me the job. And this lady heard everything. Then later, she was wanting to go out of the room, said, this is taking too long, I'm just going to bounce. Of course, I wanted the money and the job, so I told her, just wait a minute, go out to your car like you're getting something, scan the area, see what's going on. So she ended up going to her car to take her dog back, and I guess she made a phone call where she told everything to this man. When I went out to look for her, I kind of just got the courage, and she said, you were right, they were following me. I guess they were asking if she had parole because there was something behind the car or something related to her car. She said no, that it was her ex-partner. She said that she didn't have to do anything with it, and then the police left her alone, but they were after her, or at least the car. And then I just told her, if we're going to do this, we're going to do this fast, so I'll follow you wherever you go. I left that hotel room, left the deposit. And then going back to, I didn't have any money. Before I left Santa Rosa, I contacted the guy that gave me the job and told him that I didn't have money. So one of his relatives gave me $1,500. And he said, this money is going to be for you to move around. And, I asked him, how do I spend it? Because I never really like to touch money that isn't mine. He said, well, you're going to buy things, you're going to stay at places, and you can eat with it and whatever. He told me that basically they were viáticos and they were going to take care of me, right? So that was the money that I was using for all the hotels. So I didn't mind, losing the down payment for the hotel or whatever. So I left that hotel. I followed this woman a little further down from Anaheim, I want to say like an hour. It was pouring, raining. Fast as I could, got to some apartments. I think her daughter lived there or something. We parked, and then I told her, okay, give me the stuff, and that there were groceries. Can you be specific on yeah. They were groceries, and she put them all in my car. There was like a barbecue groceries. There was not carbon. What do you say? Carbon, coal, and dog food, buns, ketchup, you name it. Like a hot dog party. Just barbecue stuff. And so she gave them to me and then I took off. Then I made another call and I said, now where? And basically it was up to me where I stayed because I was just going to be moving around. So I ended up going to a little beach area. I don't remember the name. Huh? Redondo Beach, there you go. And I I didn't even know that I stayed too close to a fire department. So I kept hearing the whole night the ambulances. I thought it was the cops, and so I was gonna jump in. I was terrified. I couldn't sleep. I couldn't eat. Then I get a call from this man, and he says, "I just want to ask you something. What happened?" And I said, "Nothing. There was a police officer, and they actually were behind me." He said, "Well, I just want to tell you, don't talk to your uncle. Anything between you and me is between you and me, not between you and him, and you don't have to involve him. Like, you got it?" And I told him, "Well, I got it, but if something happens to me, are you going to take care of me?" And then he said that he would. And he says, "Just don't be spending money like crazy," because he actually wanted me to stay in LA, get a house, be like his little port, or I don't know, just receiving all the merchandise, the collections, the money, everything. And I'm pretty smart. I told him, "Well, are you gonna have two houses, and that one cannot be under my name?" And he had a person that wasn't really reliable. But I told him that I just felt scared because I didn't know a lot, and that I was going to take care of him and his money and his business as much as I could if I did do it. But what assured me that he was going to take care of me? And it sounded like he was putting it all on me. And when I met one of his relatives, she also told me, "Be careful and write everything down because he tends to be tricky. And he's gonna say, this and that." So I tried to write everything down, every money I spent from those $1,500 that he gave me, where it was all going. So back to Redondo Beach. I'm there, I'm with my partner, and we get another call that we're gonna meet this other woman, like 2 blocks from there in a liquor store. So I take my car. The great thing is that they had a parking lot under the hotel. So it was really nice, and I felt more calm, leaving stuff in my car because there was cameras and whatever. So I felt secure in some weird way because I knew I was doing illegal things. So I met her. She gave me more groceries. She took that money that the first set of guys gave me. It was like around $20,000. And I still didn't get nothing for those guys. They kept calling me and calling me and calling me and calling me. And all that man just was saying is, "Don't worry about it. Have them call me." And they never stopped calling me. And so I was telling my uncle all this. And I did tell my uncle that he told me not to call him, but that I felt more safe calling him because I didn't know this guy. I was just basically his minion. He was moving me around like a chess player. And so we stayed there and met that lady the next day again. She crosses the border. And she's the one that brings things in and out, takes out money, brings in stuff. She gave me more coal and more dog food. And the next step was that I had to go somewhere and open these bags. And I was told at the beginning that I was not going to open any merchandise, like I was just going to move it around. Well, then I was told that I had to because they didn't have the person. So things kept getting a little more and more complicated and more, involving. So I decided, because it was all in my head, and I was going crazy at this point because I had to think quick, fast, and be cautious, that I had to get another hotel room. So I looked for one close by, went in there. I told them that a friend was going to come over and that she was going to stay, but unfortunately they couldn't second bed. So I had, I want to say like 4 or 5 black bags of crystal. Mm-hmm. Big giant rocks. I had my doggy with me. I forgot to mention that in the story. So when I spilled all the kibble, he was going after it. I was terrified for him to eat it, 'cause I don't know if it's been contaminated. I ordered a pizza. I freaked out when the pizza came. um, so this woman ended up showing up. Two big suitcases. She was gonna take all of the merchandise or like the product, and she was gonna give me something in return. But this was done quick because I had the people on the phone calling, like, you can't have all these people in there, and it was just one person more. Oh no, we're trying to get another room. Do you have an extra bed? And then they said no, and so I was improvising. And then we had to get rid of all the coal and all the kibble without them seeing us getting black bags out of a room, like if it wasn't weird. The girl came. She was a nurse. She was also in Cali. I could see her eyes were terrified as well. And we're all doing this for money. But anyways, she ended up taking the 5 black bags, putting them in all the suitcases, and giving me $100,000. And time management, time wise, I got a call from the front and they kept saying, you can't have more than 2 people in there. Okay, she's leaving, don't worry, we're going to this baby shower, this and that, I'm trying to put my story all together, why I have barbecue stuff in my car. And so she ends up leaving with the bags, but the moment we exchange the money, I say, are they the $100,000? And she says, they are. Is it, do you have time for me to count them? She said, well, the other guy used to just take them. And I kind of just took one for the team and I said, well, I hope the money's there. And then she said, am I supposed to give you that other stuff? Again, terrified, I never contacted the man to tell him if that was okay. So I ended up taking this extra bag of little scraps of crystal. And so I ended up with $100,000 and the little scraps of crystal. I took him to my other hotel. We got out of this hotel, made a big story. When you're tripping, you're making stories left and right. That, we were just going to move along. They gave us our deposit back, and we ended up going back to the hotel. Oh my God, it was so freaking scary to be counting that money, hoping it was all there. Thankfully, it was all there. I couldn't eat. I couldn't poop. And if I did poop, I had diarrhea. So it was like nervousness, colitis. I don't know what I had. But trembling, I couldn't sleep. Then I called the man back and I told him, I have the money. It's complete. It's there, but they gave me this extra bag. He said, you weren't supposed to take that. At this point, I wanted to go home, and I was kind of done from all the stress I was feeling in my body. He said, you're going to have to wait another day. He gave me another number, another name. It was another female. I think I met with 4 females or 5 throughout the trip. He was the only male I would contact, except those first ones that I met. And basically, he told me, it's your call where you meet. He schooled me on that. Be smart. This person is from that place. You don't have to go all the way over there. So I kind of got a little street smart and I said to this girl, let's meet halfway. I picked a store somewhere public and I gave her that spot, and we met the next day at 8 a.m. But I did not take my partner. I told him to wait at a hotel room to keep the bag of the other stuff. That I was just going to take the money, and if anything happened, well, I'm kind of fucked, but she would be more if anything. Our plan was always, if they caught us, that it was all me. He didn't know anything about it because he was going to get deported, and at least I would get a chance to just do prison time. So I ended up going to the store. Before that, I bought a gift bag. And in that gift bag, I put the money. I got some balloons, everything. And I kept telling her, I'm going to give you the tanda. And so she got off the car. I got off the car. I said hello. I gave her the money. It was all there. And I I went inside the store to try to figure out how I was going to take care of the other situation, if I could buy some more coal and some glue and be able to do what they were doing to cross it over the border. Well, I received a call from a man. He says, "Don't do it. Don't worry about it. You're going to give it to my sister." So a relative is going to come down with his, or was already in LA. And so I waited that same day a little bit later to see his sister. Used one of my bags. I love that bag. Keep it backpack. It was great military. And I gave it to them there, because I was terrified to show anything on public. They were going to go move a car. I don't know what deals they had going on. Things, I lost the bag, but I got rid of the stuff. So I was happy because I was less stressed. Then I called him. They called him. What's up? And he said, "Hey, there's another job." And I said, "You know what? I'm done. I'm not opening anything else. I'm super stressed. I gotta get home. I'm just done." And he said, "Okay, well, I'm gonna try to see if you don't have to open anything, but you take it." I said, "Well, no. What? If I don't have to open anything, I'll do it." But the sense I got from that is like, the more you do, the more tied up you get. The more they have you doing, because they know you're money thirsty. You need it. So you're gonna cross your limits, and I was at my limit. Stress-wise, my body was saying, "No, don't do it." My mind was super tired. The good thing is it didn't go through. The lady said she couldn't. I think it was the same lady I was going to meet again, that one that I gave the $100,000 to. She ended up saying no. Then the man says, "You can go home now." I kind of kicked it a little bit with his sister and said, "I want to go to the callejones." They're like, "Oh, we're going there too. We will follow you." And we just kind of ate something, the four of us. She was with a partner, I was with my partner. And then I took off my own way. While I was driving, I was very tired. I was falling asleep. To all of this, he told me he was going to pay me $4,000 for the whole thing. It was probably like 3 to 4 days that I was there, counting day one when I left. He only gave me $2,500, which plus the $1,500 that he gave me for all the things that he had to take care of, added up to $4,000. Later on, I find out the relatives that someone like that should be getting paid like $7,000 to $10,000 for just a week, or maybe even those 3 days. So I didn't know. I wasn't schooled up on that. I felt like I was taking advantage of, because I didn't even get the $4,000 that he told me. As I'm driving back to Santa Rosa, there's trailers and everything on that highway. I was falling asleep because finally my body was able to wind down from all the stress, and I had to pull over. I'm not sure where, but probably like, it was like 2 hours out from LA, in a parking gasoline station. And I just stayed there, and I felt like I slept, or I did sleep actually for 6 hours. Got off, ate some tacos from the taco truck, and then just headed home. Was happy to be home. I laughed about it a little bit with my partner, because we would never have done that in our lives. We weren't happy with the money, but we were happy we were home. I don't believe too much in La Santa Muerte and anything like that, but I have a good friend in Colombia, and I told her to make me invisible. And so she told me that she mounted a dead person on me. I don't know what that is, but it worked, because 30 minutes leaving LA, I get a call from my uncle, and he said, "What happened in the last transaction?" And I said, "What do you mean?" He said, "Yeah, the one with the $100,000, because I tell you, we were telling each other everything." And I said, "Well, nothing. I gave the lady the money exactly as I'm telling you it happened. Like, I gave her the money, went in the store, was trying to fix the other mess I made where I grabbed something I wasn't supposed to." Then I get a call from the man. He says, "No, just leave. You're going to go meet my sister, and then you can go home today." And so apparently what my uncle was telling me is that this lady, was being followed somehow or something. And she got taken in and the money got taken from her. And so I did get a little bit scared because I felt like everything was pointed at me, like they could doubt that maybe I pointed a finger or something. But then I remember that I was smart and I told her to meet halfway. So there's no way that anybody could have known where I was. So they must have been behind her. I didn't see any police. I didn't see anything happening. And then I went home. So I never got the clear on what happened. He never actually told me. I don't know if he told you. You did? Yeah. I don't know what happened. I just know that I don't even know if he took care of the lady, like if he, no? Okay. So I was just happy, and that was actually the lady that I was going to meet that same day after when that job didn't go through. So I was blessed. So I tell you, I don't believe in that shit, but something was taking care of me. So yeah.
This is just a story, and basically it's about my pendejismo. Like I always put my stories. This is basically to put out the message of the extent that when we're living that life, we're meant to go, we're meant to take. For example, me, this is my niece I raised, and she reached out to me at one point asking me that she was doing wrong. So, I had faith in these people. So what I did is I had her, and if you guys have been following my stories, this is the same niece that I told you that I had go down to LA to move things for Alfie, which at this point she was moving things for Alfie, Daryl, and B, down there. And she moved a lot, they promised her a whole bunch of things, but this is how they work, I was doing this very well, I was making money. In the beginning of the story where she says these people kept talking about these guys wanted their jale, those were my people. They were supposed to take care of that, but I was being thrown aside. At the same time, they were using my niece. It was supposed to be a one-hit quitter, and she was all over LA. And then they stuck her with what she was supposed to get paid. And at all times, she was being advised, don't include your tío, keep him out, it's only me. This is the way these people work, And I don't say this to put blame on nobody. I'm as much as to blame as they are. I brought my niece into this, and I should have known better, But like I always stated in my stories, I kept having faith and being stupid, blind, and I didn't come to find out to later on, it was Daryl's girl that got basically cracked trying to cross the border back with the money, and she was promised to be in help, but she didn't. She got abandoned in prison. They got a lawyer for her. She just basically got the bad end of the stick too. But I just thought I would get out of that same type of line that we constantly do on my stories, and just share with you, these are the things that we put our loved ones through, and for what? Where they at now, Where they at? My niece, she didn't get out of money problems because she got stuck. But what she had plans to get, she didn't get. She got used and abused. I got lied to, and at the same time, I was being told different stories as they were doing. So this is just one of the many things that made me decide to step back, But again, I'm not only blaming them, I take my responsibility. I'm not as guilty in this as they are, But, use this for those outsiders looking in as something to be like, damn, So man, I was making the organization money, and I don't need to put it out there. I'm not on here to pump myself or my actions to any type of extent. But I was, and at the end of the day, it was all these lies and getting done wrong. And that's all there is out there, There's no loyalty, there ain't nothing that. But with this said, mi gente, I'm going to go ahead and wish everyone again a Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. Well, you will be hearing from me before New Year's. But, blessings, love, and I hope this coming year brings you brings you more than you can dream of having or you wish having, you know. But mi gente, with this said, please always stay true to yourself and loyal to your loved ones. Gracias again y muy buenas noches.